What's going on, guys? Welcome to Freeing Your Mindset. Have you ever felt like when you are out hanging with your friends or even some of your family, you feel like you are being judged or even outcast from the group because of being judged? Well, you are not the only one who feels that way, because there are thousands, possibly millions of people that feel that way every day. Whether you are at work or at home, your social anxiety may be the cause of what drives you to stay somewhere by yourself instead of going out and being around people, like being on a date or going to the movies. There are a lot of things that will run through your mind about what people are saying, not only to themselves but also to others. Because of this happening, it causes a lot of people's mindset to be dictated by others and not allow them to be a part of the group or to be able to take charge of a project. You can also have social anxiety when you get invited to play in a basketball game or perform in a band on stage in front of others. So in today's episode, as you have guessed, we will be talking about social anxiety and some wellness tips to help you deal with social anxiety. However, let's take a look at what social anxiety is and what causes it before we get into the tips to help with it. Social anxiety is when others judge or cause a strong or prolonged fear in a person in a public setting. This can affect your mindset whether you are at home, work, school, or other places or activities. Social anxiety is a common type of anxiety, and someone that has social anxiety feels the symptoms of fear when they feel like they will get scrutinized or judged by others when they speak in public, being at a job interview, or something as simple as talking to a cashier or using the public restroom. The intense fear that people show in social situations feel that it is out of their control, and for some people this may get in the way of doing everyday activities such as attending school or going to work. There are others out there that are able to build up enough courage and accomplish the activities, but accrue a lot of anxiety by doing this. People have so much social anxiety that they will avoid certain places or events that may cause distress and embarrassment, and often people think this is something that happens a day or two before the event, when in fact, this can happen weeks, possibly months before the event. Social anxiety will typically start in your late childhood years, and you may have extreme shyness or wanting to avoid certain situations dealing with social interaction. Adolescents and young adult females tend to show social anxiety more frequently than males. Also, if this goes without being treated, this can last for a long time, such as a year or possibly your entire life. Just like other conditions, social anxiety deals with certain factors like environmental or biological events. Certain possibilities may include 1. Traits that are inherited. This particular trait is the one that is usually in families. Now, this may be more inclined to have something that is due to a learning behavior rather than something that is passed down from the genetic level. 2. Your brain structure. The amygdala may play a significant role in controlling the person's response to fear. When a person has an overactive amygdala, their fear level can be raised to a point that it can cause their anxiety to be heightened as well during social activities. Number 3, your environment. In this situation, this could be considered a learned behavior of anxiety because there could have been a social interaction that could have been embarrassing or unpleasant. There can also be a relevance between social anxiety and the person's parents that were being overprotective or had a serious social situation that could have left an impact on the person when they were a child. Now, I know that you may be saying to yourself, okay, this is great information, but where are the tips to help me with social anxiety? Don't worry, I'll be getting to those in just a bit. However, I just want you to know some information about it before I jump right into the tips. It's a bit better to understand what it is first and then get the tips to help. So before we get into the tips, let me give you a little bit more about social anxiety and then I will jump into the tips. A lot of people believe that social anxiety is just an emotional problem. Unfortunately, that is not the case. There are also physical symptoms along with emotional symptoms that can cause someone to have social anxiety. So if there's someone you know or even yourself that is having social anxiety issues, here are some of the signs of emotional symptoms to be aware of. 1. Having tremendous fear of being judged by people in a negative way in social situations. 2. Constantly worrying about whether or not you will humiliate or embarrass yourself in public. 3. Extreme fear of walking up to strangers and talking to them. 4. Avoid talking to people or doing things in front of people because of having fear of being embarrassed. 5. Avoid public situations where you are going to be the center of attention. 6. Having intense fear knowing that there is a public event or activity. 7. Expecting the worst possible outcome from a social interaction or situation where you had a negative experience previously. 8. Intense fear of the physical symptoms like blushing or a shaky voice. Speaking of physical symptoms like the ones I mentioned, here are some of the other physical symptoms that can cause social anxiety. 1. Fast heartbeat. This can cause your anxiety to go through the roof, along with causing you to panic and make you have a lot of negative thoughts. 2. Sweating. This can happen either in your hands, feet, or other areas of the body, and you may be noticed by others that you are sweating. This can cause you to panic and get extremely anxious. 3. Trouble catching your breath. Sometimes you will start having trouble catching your breath when you are on stage or getting in front of a large crowd or possibly just being in front of a few people. This can cause you to panic and get extremely anxious, and it can continue to cause problems when trying to catch your breath. 4. Being dizzy. When you are in front of people, your anxiety can get so high that you will start feeling dizzy or lightheaded. People will feel that the environment is spinning when in fact it is them internally spinning. Now that we have a good understanding about what social anxiety is and some of the symptoms that can cause social anxiety, here are some tips to help with getting social anxiety under control. 1. Getting help as early as you can. Just like with other mental health conditions, waiting to get treatment can cause more harm in the long run. 2. Having a journal. When you have a journal to keep track of what you do in your personal life, this allows you and the therapist treating you to know what you are doing to cause stress and what you are doing to make yourself feel better. 3. Setting particular goals in your life. By setting goals, this can help manage or even reduce your social anxiety through your time and energy. Use your time and energy on the things that you enjoy to do, and this may reduce your anxiety. 4. Avoid unhealthy substance abuse. Things like alcohol, drugs, and even caffeine, yes, caffeine, can cause your anxiety to become worse. Quitting any of these things can help reduce your anxiety levels, and if you are unable to quit any of these things on your own, then seek professional help to help you quit. 5. Taking small steps. By taking small steps such as going to the grocery store and having a quick conversation with one of the employees can help you start the journey of being able to reduce your social anxiety. 6. Performing an act of kindness. By helping your neighbor bring in their groceries or helping someone across the street or even bringing a bowl of soup to a sick neighbor can have people start thinking more positively about you instead of negatively. And this can help reduce your social anxiety and may end up opening you up to more social interaction. I hope that you were able to learn a lot of information from social anxiety. If you know anyone that may have social anxiety, including yourself, I hope this helps you to better understand how social anxiety can wreak havoc on our everyday lives and cause us not to go to social interactions because we are worried about other people casting judgment on people or having fear or worry about what other people think. With proper treatment and possibly medication that the therapist will have you take to help with the therapy to reduce the anxiety down to a level where you are able to go out in public and not have fear of others around you. As always, I am not a licensed professional. If this was not enough to help you, then please seek medical advice from a medical professional. If you enjoy the content, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe for more informative content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.